An abomination.
Disgusting.
Nasty. These are adjectives to describe the Panthers' performance today.
Dysfunctional. Sorry, I know. We were just afforded one, but I
can pull out the SARS and we can just go.
Let's
That'll be the whole hour.
Let's start naming some adjectives to describe the loss.
Dysfunctional.
I mean,
scary.
Scary is a good one. Incorrigible.
Abhorrent.
Yes, abhorrent. Yes.
A quagmire.
Yeah, you could just pick any. You can actually just pick any adjective. Just
any negative adjective in the dictionary. That's what you can.
I got a question. Did Sam Darnold know he was out of the protocol today? Concussion protocol?
I don't. He should have been under the tent the entire game.
Yes.
Because I don't know where his head was at. I don't.
I mean, is
that a bad joke? Am I a bad person for saying that joke?
No, you're not. You're not. I mean, I look at the game. We're driving down the field the second half. You don't have nothing. You're not that accurate. Just throw it away. Why try to make that to Ian Thomas out of all people who cost us on the earlier drive?
But that wasn't even the worst one to me. The worst one was the last one.
Oh my god!
Because I'm literally wondering, what did he see?
You know, sometimes quarterbacks in the NFL think, "Hey, I got one-on-one coverage with my guy. I'm just going to put it up there and, you know."
Oh, by the way, welcome everybody to Under.
Hey,
hello everybody.
Thank you guys for watching.
I don't think, although DJ Moore is the best receiver we have, he's not that kind of guy where you throw up 50-50 balls.
Right. He doesn't have a wide catch radius.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know.
What was he thinking? Because you look at it from the replay angle, and
I didn't see it.
He was defended perfectly. The defender had a perfect angle on him.
Why not throw that ball to the back pylon where only DJ can make the catch?
Bob said something. He was defended perfectly. Everybody was defended perfectly, and that kind of leads me to what can you do in those situations?
Well,
throw the ball away like Aaron Rodgers does.
But
take the three.
He would just be. But to me, that speaks to a bigger issue.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Is the bigger issue with a nice haircut and ain't got a fade? John B type fade.
Let me ask you a question, y'all. So, how much of this, Sam Darnold is not the type of quarterback that throws his receivers open. He kind of waits until they're open to throw the ball. Remember early in the season, I was so big on Sam throwing in these tight windows, and those windows are slowly closing back up. Mm-hmm. And maybe now we see Sam Darnold can't throw receivers open. How much is that? How much is throwing receivers open versus they're just not open? What is it?
I think it's a combination of both. That's kind of like the Panthers.
That's that's symbolic, y'all. Absolutely.
I think it's a combination of both. I don't think there's enough creativity with the routes that'll be around.
Absolutely.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
And then also, I don't think that we have a good offensive line at all.
Well,
I mean,
why are we forgetting that?
That's part of the problem. But today, he only got sacked twice.
But he was running for his life a lot, though.
All right. So I did some digging.
Would you?
Kyle's got some research for y'all today.
Carolina Panthers offensive ranking, yards per game, since 2011 when we drafted Cam Newton. Only once in that entire time were we below 20. That was the 2013 season, Carolina Panthers, 24 offense. They had at least been in the top 14 every other year. Cam's last full season with the Panthers with the number 11. So of all the him and hawing about how bad Cam was when he was with us, we were the number 11 offense. Last season under Teddy, we were number 19th. This season under Sam, we are number 24th. Even with Kyle Allen, when we had Kyle Allen and Taylor Hanke starting games.
Well, I'd rather have them two right now.
I'd much rather have
Carolina,
especially for their price.
Carolina Panthers were number 18 offense.
I'd much rather.
I'm just saying the offense. Maybe when Matt Rule and his crew came in and looked at the team and they decided, because let's be fair, they told everyone without telling everyone the offense was going to be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They told us that when they literally spent all 7 draft picks on defensive players.
Right.
Maybe
it's part of the plan.
It is part of the plan, but maybe they should have looked the other way first.
Let me ask you a question. Is it fair to say that we took a step back on offense in year 2 of the rebuild?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because now what do you do? If you don't have a quarterback in the NFL that can produce, your game plan around a quarterback either has to be he carries the offense and thus carries the team like Cam Newton did,
right?
Or he is a game manager
right.
and the defense carries the team.
Right.
Now, if that is the plan, then that's the plan. But we don't even have a game manager right now. And we can't just draft a guy.
So you're saying that we're in quarterback purgatory right now?
They're in quarterback purgatory.
But
the carousel's about to get nasty the next few years.
So you know why we can't have a game manager here? You know why you can't manage the game? We saw today a very conservative game plan today, an extremely conservative game plan today. And they were, and in the first half mainly, you go 3 and out, you go 3 and out, you go 3 and out. What is that going to do for your defense after a while?
They're tired.
You
end up getting Brian Burns injured.
They cannot sustain anything for now. I want to make something very clear. The defense was, for whatever reason, uncharacteristically missing some tackles and did not have a good game versus the run, even before anything transpired on offense today.
Well,
what's your rebuttal, sir?
Wow.
That's on Phil Snow. The Patriots did something that some teams do, and they didn't do very well. All of those big long gashes came on 2nd and long.
Right. Because we were winning first downs.
Yes, exactly.
The entire first quarter.
So it'd be like 2nd and 15, and the Panthers come out in a nickel. Right. And the Patriots we're just gonna run it.
We're just gonna run it.
Well, now you've got 5 corners instead of 3 linebackers, and now it's 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 7. They wouldn't get the first down, but they would break off this huge chunk of yards because the Panthers were in the wrong coverage. Okay, you might get me on that because people do that in Madden, right?
Right.
You might get me on that once, maybe twice.
But 3 times?
3 times all game?
Come on, man.
Now you have to make an adjustment.
Right.
Because that's what Belichick wants you to do. He wants you to say, okay, now what are you going to do on 2nd and long when we get a false start or something?
So I'm going to tell you where the checkmate came in, because when Phil Snow finally did make an adjustment and he had Shaq Thompson out there in coverage, what happened? He got burned on that 3rd down, bro. So it's like you either damn if you do, if you damn if you don't.
Which, I mean, that's going to happen sometimes.
Right.
I think you take that considering the defense did have some big plays.
Right.
Mac Jones, people are going to be like, Mac Jones, he did not look good against the defense, actually. He didn't. Really, Stop it. The Patriots ran almost 50 times. That's what the story of the game was, their defense and their run game. Mac Jones threw an interception to Stephon Gilmore, who is the only player I'm going to applaud today. Maybe Brian Burns.
Yeah. He knew. He said that he knows the wide receiver's tendencies and knew that was coming. So
so he jumped it.
And it looked like it. It looked like he saw.
Yeah. Oh,
it saw that one a mile away.
And Brian Burns was all over Mac Jones today, and he also had a good game. I thought the defense played as well as they could given the situation.
Right.
Before, look, man, I think let's just say if we didn't have anything else to talk about on the show, we could literally talk about how horrible the Panthers offense was for the rest of the show. However, I do want to point out that the New England Patriots rushed 39 times for 151 yards, their season high today. Not going to get it done, man, especially when you don't have an offense to keep you off the field. This is one of those weird things in the NFL where a better offense helps. The reason they were able to rack up so many rushes and rushing yards is because they were in control of the game. Right.
Because they knew that our offense was – what did we say to each other after Stephon Gilmore intercepted that ball.
We're not going to do anything with the ball.
Field goal coming.
Field goal coming.
Yep.
And 3 clockwork.
Right. So it's like, why wouldn't, if you're in New England, why would you risk throwing the ball
with a young quarterback
and having Mac Jones make a mistake?
Right.
As soon as, to be fair, Mac Jones threw a pick and then New England drove and scored a touchdown 2 possessions later. But Mac Jones didn't pass again until that touchdown pass.
Right.
Belichick was like, no.
Hey, look, man, we were horrible today, but it's also okay to give the other team credit. Bill Belichick showed why he's Bill Belichick.
Oh, absolutely.
Let me say that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Let me say that. That dude showed you, like, this is why I'm in this seat and why I've been in this seat for so long.
It's just frustrating, man. Let's talk about the end of the first half.
Do we have to?
I want Kaza, you were talking about that right before we went on air, man. So start us off with that, because you had a really good thought.
I don't even remember what it was.
I'll carry you. Hey, no, it's hard today.
Yeah.
No, what you were saying is it basically, it didn't look like we were even going to attempt to score on that last drive before the half ended. And as a coach, what does that tell the team?
Oh, yes. You're right. It sets the tone.
It sets the tone, right?
Yeah. If the team is like, if the coach don't care,
why should I care?
You ever see games where it'll be like, 4th and something, and the coach calls the offense? You ever see, like Aaron Rodgers?
Mm-hmm.
He'll go to the coach and be like, nah.
Okay, we got this.
Cam used to do it. No. And, they'd eventually pull the offense off the field. But you never even saw Sam Darnold be like, no, hey, call the timeout. They were like, okay, yeah.
Sam looked like he was crying,
let's just go. Let's just go into the locker room.
Speaking of Sam crying, Robbie Anderson was pretty doggone animated.
Let me ask you a question. Robbie probably leads the league in drops this year.
That's a safe bet.
Yeah.
And Robbie may have not been getting open some of the time. Do you think he has the right to go off like that? I mean, being a competitor, I don't see nothing wrong.
I don't even think it's about having the right to. I think the frustration is just boiling over with everybody at this point. You know what I mean? And
I don't know if, to steal one of Jamal's terms, I don't know if Robbie has that kind of equity.
Right.
Because Robbie's issues this season have nothing to do with Sam Darnold. Right. I don't think they do. I mean, when he is getting you the ball, you're dropping the passes.
You don't do anything with it.
Otherwise, you're not getting open. So I don't know what else he wants from Sam Darnold.
Yeah, that's not a Sam Darnold issue.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, Sam Darnold's playing like trash, but so are you, bruh.
I mean, I say this all the time, man. We don't have the vantage point to look at the receivers and what's really
y'all
going
tell
on.
Danny Thompson, type your question. We only allow call-ins.
Hey, did man
the Panthers and Falcons?
I wasn't here last week. Did Danny have a question last week?
He didn't have. He had a statement that was not valid because the Falcons lost to the Panthers.
Oh, okay.
So we did not acknowledge it.
Well, look, Danny, I'll be nice. 704-981-1747. Be brief, and we will hang up on you as soon as you're rude. So.
Now, Anthony Badillo said that Robbie had a career year with Teddy Lowe, and our brother Vince kind of implied the same thing with some statistics from last year.
Right.
So, but what gets lost in all that is you look at the style of play in the offense from last year and this year. Teddy was doing easier throws. Mm-hmm. He was not going downfield with Robbie Anderson.
Not at all.
He was he averaged 3.4 yards, air yards per completion as a whole. I don't know specifically what they were to Robbie, but he looked better because they were making easier throws. Despite all that, despite 3 1,000-yard receivers, the Panthers were still only the 18th best offense in the league and the 17th best passing offense in the league. So is that enough of a difference to make a winning team?
I mean, I want to be fair to Teddy, and I don't know if that's allowed by Panthers fans, but CMC wasn't there a good chunk of that. CMC was not there a good chunk of that last year.
That's
and that would have made a slight difference as far as the passing attack is concerned. I mean, we had Mike Davis, who's not really the passing guy,
right?
But CMC
hasn't been here much of this season, and either. In fact,
CMC.
they lost every game with him gone. So, and there was a market decline in the offensive production. I mean, Sam Darnold had back-to-back 300-yard passing games.
All right, so unfortunately, our brother Danny would like to chime in. Danny, what you got, man?
Hey, you got me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, forgive me if I repeat anything that you guys have already said because.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is actually, hey, my bad. This is actually Quentin, man. Quentin, yeah, tell us what you got, man. My bad, bro. Go ahead, man.
All right, my name is Quentin. I'm a season ticket holder that lives in Virginia that drives 3 hours to home games to watch this trash.
God bless your heart.
God bless you.
You better than me.
I'm currently on the road driving home. I'm almost to the Virginia border because I actually left a little bit early in the fourth quarter because I couldn't stand to watch anymore. And I never leave early. Never leave early. But, I mean, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch in person. It's not the defense. The defense is serviceable.
Right.
The only reason we got 6 points today was because of the defense.
That is
If
fact.
it was not for them, we didn't sustain a drive. We didn't throw the ball down the field. We tried to run the ball against 9-10 man front.
Right.
You can clearly see that the coaching staff has no confidence in Sam Darnold, but they're stuck with him. But they won't switch to PJ Walker. And PJ Walker he's not the answer, but Darnold isn't either. So
Right,
you committed
right.
money to Darnold, it failed. You got to do something. Have some balls.
Quentin, thank you for the call. I just want to ask you one question before you go. Do we have any faith that PJ Walker could do any better? Because I personally don't, man. But give us your brief thoughts on what you think PJ Walker could do differently for us.
PJ Walker's going to come in there and he's going to compete to where PJ Walker is coming in. What was the league he was in? It wasn't the XFL. Whatever that league was, he was good at that, and he wants to be an NFL QB. So he's going to give his all. He's going to take chances. He's going to try to make something happen, even if it turns into turnovers. Sam Darnold, he holds the ball.
Yeah.
I've heard Kaiser say that the reason quarterbacks hold the ball is because the receivers are not getting open. But when you look at it in person, that's not true. Darnold has to see them open before he'll throw the ball.
We talked about that earlier.
He's throwing an interception, and he still throws interception.
Yeah. Q, thank you for the call, brother. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, man, but thank you for the call, man. But Kazim, you talked about that. And it's important to know that with the fan who has the vantage point that we don't have, he gets to kind of look above and see what's going on with the receivers and the quarterback. It's a good observation. I'll keep it at that, man. Quentin, thank you for the call, man. But I forgot where we left off at.
So I got a quote to read. This is from a guy I particularly don't like, but it was an interesting quote.
It was a funny quote.
I'm not really sure I'm not really sure what people expected when you build your team around Temple and Jets rejects.
I couldn't have said it any better.
I don't think there's a lie told in that statement.
Where's the lie, dog?
I don't know. Like I read a stat one time that said that NFL owners, their first usual hire isn't a good hire, and I'm just not. I just was never quite sold on Matt Rule.
Same.
I just he gives me that college guy, and I don't think that
a college guy that does what?
College shit.
Yeah, thank you.
and I don't think that he has the full buy-in, and that's why he bought in all those Temple.
So
and Baylor
that's the issue with Matt Rule, not Matt Rule himself, but the fact that he brought in someone like Phil Snow.
Right.
I think that's the biggest issue.
And Joe Brady.
Yeah, and although Joe Brady had been being recruited, was being recruited by NFL teams anyway. for offensive coordinator position. But I just feel like if you're coming in to rebuild an NFL team, then shouldn't you have NFL people in your employ?
Or at least somebody there in your ear,
Right?
like an assistant, like a kind of like a Bill Parcells type to help manage,
Right.
to help you manage everything. I mean, because I think he kind of came in this thing kind of blind to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I've been saying this for a while, and people give me some pushback. He gives me like the used car salesman type guy feel, man. And like I just like I can't buy into it.
I don't know, man. I don't like to put a whole lot into how coaches look on the sideline, but he always look confused as hell to me. Like he just don't know what's going on.
All right, guys, we got another caller. Caller, who's calling?
Yes.
Hang up.
Last place. How you guys doing?
Hey, hi, how's it going?
Well, hold up.
Wait.
Oh, last place. Now, I'm not a mathematician here, but I do know that the Falcons and the Panthers have the same record, right?
They're 4-4.
Once
We're
again,
4-5.
welcome back to last place.
Oh.
2 questions, guys. Number 1, on the trash bag scale of quarterbacks in your franchise history, does Sam Darnold now pass Jimmy Clausen?
No,
No,
absolutely not.
Next question.
And 2, at some point, when does Sir Purr take over the starting quarterback?
All right, goodbye.
Next
have
week,
a good day,
next
sir.
week,
Next
next
week. Have a good day. That was our brother Danny Thompson from the 3-point conversion. I guess thanks for the call, man.
Hey, no, but that's a good point. What do the Panthers do about quarterback now?
See, I was a fan of not putting PJ Walker in this mess today. I like Sam.
No, yeah, you gotta eat the shit sandwich, Sam. That's how I feel.
You got to eat it.
Yeah,
You put it on the bread.
yeah.
Take a bite. Eat it.
Yeah.
Digest it somehow.
Digest it slowly.
Yeah.
And then, like, you figure this out next week. Like, next week, you come out and say, hey, PJ Walker, you're the starter.
You're the starter.
You took all the starting reps this week. Sam miraculously got over his concussion.
But still, though, PJ Walker. Okay,
PJ Walker's not the guy.
he's not a guy.
No.
Okay,
I have no faith.
He's
in
not.
Walker,
He's
dude.
not the guy under the guy. He's not. The guy,
He's
okay?
not the 6th guy. He's
You're right. I like PJ Walker a lot, but he's not going to solve the Carolina Panthers quarterback issues, and that's a major issue.
It's
because
a major
here's the thing:
issue, dude.
we essentially went all in on Teddy. That didn't work out. We went all in on Sam. That's not going to work out. So now what? There's no prospects coming out of the draft
This
next
is
season.
the song that
Never ends.
I mean, the thing is,
It's a carousel, man.
we've had what in the 30 years of existence, 2 franchise quarterbacks,
type.
and one of them kind of came out of nowhere. Jake Delhomme. If you had been like Jake Delhomme going to be a franchise quarterback,
Nobody
I
saw
would have
that
said you
coming.
are
Right.
lying. The game that he came in and replaced Rodney Peete and threw the last second touchdown, everyone was like, "Who the hell is
Who
this
is this guy? I've never heard of
Yeah,
him.
I'd never heard of him. And he takes us to a Super Bowl and has a pretty good career. Then after that, we have David Carr, Jimmy Clausen.
Some guy that was on the couch babysitting.
Right, random dude.
Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah, just random dudes. And then we get Cam Newton after Panthers fans cried because Andrew Luck decided to stay in. I'm actually very glad he did that. I'm glad he ended up staying another year in college so that we could draft Cam. But we draft Cam. Probably even though we didn't have back-to-back winning seasons, that was probably our best stretch as a franchise, ever. 3 straight division championships, a winning record over that time.
I'm gonna say something. Outside those 2 Super Bowls, this franchise has been pretty poverty.
It's been mediocre at best.
It's hard to say though, and I'll tell you why.
I don't know, man.
How many franchises? If you said 7 division titles, 2 Super Bowls.
Not many.
There's not.
I mean, that's just
I read off a few.
A few,
but
not the majority.
In this 30-year span,
and they'll all
I can name a few.
and they'll all be the same teams. That's the thing, though.
No, it won't.
It will be. You see, you got Baltimore, you got New England,
Pittsburgh.
you got Pittsburgh, Seattle,
Who else?
Tampa.
Maybe, and that's just recent.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
Green Bay has 1 Super Bowl. They've been living off that 1 Super Bowl.
That is true.
No, because Green Bay's been to 2 since we've been in.
They've been to 2, but they've won 1.
How many we got?
I mean, hey, I'm just saying.
But
The Giants got 2 Super Bowls.
But see, that's the thing. So does one Super Bowl make you more successful than any other team ever that hasn't won one?
I say mediocre at best.
It validates your franchise.
Okay,
No, I agree with that.
give us credit for this. We won the division 4 straight times at one point.
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry to cut you. So, man, we had an under 500 record. One of those.
It doesn't matter.
No, I'm not giving them cats that. We still don't have back-to-back.
They won a playoff game
We
that year
still
too.
don't have back-to-back.
Did they not win a playoff
Against
game?
a 4-straight quarterback.
They won. A W is a W, right?
I'm not doing this, man.
Let's reel it back in.
But the point I was trying to make is that look how hard it is to get a franchise quarterback, a guy that can carry your team to success.
Right.
We're not going to get another one of those for a long time.
So I look.
So Sam Howell's not the guy the whole time, hero.
Don't put it in the air. Don't put it in the air.
Also,
because I can easily see it happening. Don't put it in the air. Because damn it, in April I can see it happening. But this is the question I want to pose, man, because this comes up every week now. Matter of fact, it comes up every 10 minutes. Okay, Panthers Twitter. Man, get on your knees and beg Cam to come back. Do we even want Cam to come back to this mess at this point?
No, I don't want him to come back to this. And guess what? David Tepper over his dead body is not bringing Cam back.
That rule.
Or in that rule,
please include him.
Like I wouldn't mind him coming back, but
I don't want him coming back to this mess.
But this is my thing, man. Like, pride is a terrible thing.
That sure is.
To like these guys are year 2 in a rebuild. They're not going to admit they were wrong in year 2.
No.
Right.
Plus, I don't know if the current version of Cam Newton is that he wouldn't be the answer for the Panthers. And I mean the current version,
iteration of the Panthers, right?
The Teddy Bridgewater version of Cam Newton, who is a dink and dunk guy and takes off running when the play breaks down. I mean, to be fair, that's what Cam Newton became in New England in his last season in Carolina. So I don't know what, and I think Tepper was really thought he had a chance at Deshaun Watson, but that boat has sailed.
Man, I do not want that guy, man. Not
and
right now.
it's not worth the headache.
Let me tell you something. This is what happened. In the middle of the third quarter, the FBI is going to come to arrest him in the middle of the game. And we're out of all those picks.
We're out of
the Panthers' best chance is another Jake Delhomme situation where we just bring in like a random dude off the street.
No, it's not. Rodney already gave us our best chance.
No.
I'm telling you.
Sam Howell!
I'm telling you.
Hey, man, look, man.
I'm not saying I want that. I'm just telling you. I can see it happening.
I'm going to tell you this. I think Sam Howell's a decent quarterback. I just think that
this is how bad things are.
I know, right?
No. Listen, hear me out. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. I really do. I just don't think UNC has the weapons this year. And sorry, fans, I don't think Matt Brown's a good coach. He's a good recruiter.
Hey. Actually.
Those are cuss words.
What about, all right, hear me out here.
All right.
What about Mitchell Trubisky?
That's enough Sam.
Hold on.
That's enough. Look.
No.
He was better than Sam.
He was better than Sam.
Listen.
He was better than Sam.
No. Let me finish my thought. I'm not saying
What's his comment?
What's the comment?
Comment of the day. Simon Monk is quarterback.
Dude, awesome.
We know who that is.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's bad as Sam. What I'm saying is it's another reclamation project. I don't know if I want another reclamation project. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think that Mitchell Trubisky was that. He wasn't bad at all.
He was bad. He was bad that last year. He was bad.
But in Chicago, you mean?
But I just don't think. I mean, I'm trying to think who realistically would come to Carolina and be better than Sam Darnold
now,
or even Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah,
Taylor Heineke.
No, Ron Rivera
would
tucks Taylor Heineke into bed every night. He's never leaving Washington.
How about this name? How about this name? Gardner Minshew.
I take him in a heartbeat. I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think he competes. He cares, and he'll turn it over, but he'll try.
He's rotting away on the bench right now. Why not? Go all in.
God, why couldn't we have got Matt Stafford?
Shoot, man,
gosh,
Matt Stafford didn't want to be.
Matt Stafford knew. He saw who the coach? Matt who?
Matt. I'm sorry. What?
I'm going to LA
because they actually did try. He didn't want to. He's like, no. or here's a revolutionary idea. We could have drafted Justin Fields or Mac Jones or somebody in the first round this year. I mean, J.C. Horner was a luxury pick. We shouldn't have picked that. We should have.
J.C. Horner was really good.
He was really good, but I mean, come on.
J.C. I mean, if he hadn't broke his foot, he'd be defensive rookie of the year.
Some NFL breaking news: Deshaun Jackson has allegedly texted Josina Anderson, telling him he is going to the Raiders. Interesting. Just some breaking news. Because
why do they even have a franchise?
I don't. Now look, it's been rough for us.
Yeah,
boy. Man,
you thought it was.
I would not be a Raiders fan today. Man.
Let's take one of the most volatile franchises and fan bases and put it in Las Vegas. That's an awesome idea.
Las Vegas is a pretty fun city.
Great city.
It sure is.
Great city.
You can get into a lot in Las Vegas.
Great city unless you live there. Right. I lived in Las Vegas once upon a time, and when you live there,
it's 3 days and I'm out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, that's all you can do. So imagine being there
with money,
with millions of dollars.
20 years old. We're not talking about anybody in particular, by the way.
No, yeah.
It ain't tricking if you got it.
Y'all can come to Charlotte. Don't go to
Vegas. Don't go to dirty Vegas.
It's quiet here. You can live in an apartment like Luke Kuechly had that overlooks a nice park.
No,
it's cheaper.
No,
your $1 million is going to go further.
No. I really live otherwhere. I was going to live in Miami, play for the Dolphins,
and lose all the time.
Have a whole bunch of Cuban mommies in the house.
I'm actually with Danny. Sign Tim Tebow.
Man, look, sign
miracles in the backfield.
I don't know, man.
Sign Kaza Sose.
Yes, I'll play quarterback.
Sign anybody.
I can hand the ball.
Sign Danny to play offensive tackle.
Really, seriously, man.
Sign one of them people from Sycamore Bishop.
Guys, do we even have an offensive MVP today?
Zane Gonzalez.
It was almost insulting that he got special teams player of the week.
Zane Gonzalez.
They really named him special teams.
Yeah.
That is pathetic.
Congrats to him, by the way.
But God, a lone bright spot. Yeah. Thank you.
He's our best kicker since John Casey.
Props. The only thing they did right this offseason was acquire a damn kicker. Who man.
After we started the season with 2, and then we cut 2, and then we found him.
College shit.
I
don't know. I don't have an answer for the Panthers. The thing is, I feel bad for the defense. I hope Brian Burns is okay, but that did not look good when he was coming off the field. And if his foot is broken or something like that, the season's a wrap because the defense was the only bright spot left on this team. And here's the bad thing about the season being a wrap. There's no one to tank for.
Right.
There's no good offensive linemen early in the draft. There's no good quarterbacks. A lot of good defensive players, but like someone in the comments said, we got 15 defensive backs. We
don't need any more. We're good there.
We're good.
I don't.
So what do we do?
Look, man.
Trade the picks? I don't know.
We don't have any second round picks, by the way. But anyway, Rodney, do you have an offensive MVP, sir? Everybody in agreement?
Christian McCaffrey, because he been injured for 20 years, and then they ran him the first.
Listen, Joe Brady was like, I don't care what none of y'all say. My man getting his 30 touches.
Joe Brady said he decided a new contract. I ain't gonna be here for the.
I ain't gonna be here.
Let me go ahead and build my resume.
That's when you get your car out of the shop and the mechanic's like, all right, you need to be careful with it. You're like,
be a point A to point B car.
No, we good. Probably got that thing out the shop.
My man got his Ferrari out the shop and drove to Vegas.
2 straight runs and a pass to McCaffrey. Those are the Panthers' first 3 plays from scrimmage. What are you?
Oh, you gotta love it, man.
Oh man,
defensive MVPs, anybody?
Gilmore. Or Brian Burns, one of those 2. Hassan Reddick also had a good game. Shaq Thompson had a good game except for the one play where, running back on a wheel route. I'm not going to,
The defense only gave up 17 points.
Yeah, I thought the defense played well.
Realistically, they only gave up 17 points.
Yeah. Right, yeah. So I'm fine with the defensive performances today. I do feel like they could have put a little more pressure on Mac Jones.
I was just about to say that,
But I think that was partial play calling. I think Phil Snow got out-schemed today. When they running for 11 yards on 2nd and 15, that's a problem.
That's a big-time problem. There's an adjustment that needs to be made.
Picks for next week. We go 40-0 Cardinals.
Patriots scored 24 today.
Yeah.
Cardinals will score
50.
They score 37 at least. I'll go 37-3 Cardinals.
Okay, well the Patriots offense Did not score two.
They scored 17. Even with that being said, 37-3 Cardinals.
Yeah. So one of my friends on Twitter said, we will be tarred and feathered by the Cardinals next week. And with the Bible said, be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Yes.
We will.
They still, the Cardinals still remember 2016.
Yeah.
They ain't
there no more.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. I mean, they're fans. They're fans in the franchise.
The Phoenicians.
Yeah, right.
But you know what? Any given Sunday, right? Because the Dallas Cowboys,
they got throttled today, which was the only bright spot of this sports week.
And nobody picked them to win, so maybe, maybe.
No.
Nah.
We're not doing. Don't do that.
No, we're on the road. Although we play on the road every week. Why y'all giving out tickets to people from Boston? Stop it. Don't do that.
Man.
That was awesome.
Man,
Ronnie, you got your pick, bro?
35-3.
Has Jeremy Chin taken a step back with a full-time safety role?
Nah.
He had 11 tackles today.
It's just that the defense is better, so he's not as
they don't need. He's not the
right. Not every play. Jeremy Chin like last season. I think he
and that saves him for the future too. And so, interesting fact: over the past 12 quarters of football, we scored one offensive touchdown.
That's pathetic.
It's 3 games.
That's pathetic.
That's on Joe Brady. That's on Joe Brady. I'm sorry. You know, because you're the offense coordinator. You
figure
know
something out, man.
Yeah, you know what the deficiencies of your team are. Your quarterback makes bad decisions.
I want to think about this. We have Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, and Christian McCaffrey, and we scored 1 touchdown in how many quarters?
12.
I got nothing else, man.
Hey, man, look. Only if his play calling was as good as his fades.
I got nothing. That's unacceptable. Let's move on,
guys.
Move on to another
more crappiness. More. Yeah, just shit all the way around this week.
So our team finished 1-3 this week, and 0-3.
No, 1-3. We didn't cover it Sunday, so
no, we lost Sunday.
No, but we didn't cover it. What I'm saying is you included.
Oh yeah, that is right. We were 1-3. I was right.
Yeah,
and we'll probably be 1-4 by the end of the night.
I agree.
I don't know though.
We'll
talk
see,
about that.
We'll talk about but
let me start this one off if y'all don't mind.
You got it, bro.
I went to the Portland game, first game I went to in a while, and it was so cool because the team was clicking. We looked good. The ball was popping. Everybody was hitting shots. We didn't have a center that looked like damn Wilt Chamberlain against us. And I look at that game. I look at the Portland game. By the way, we're on the Hornets segment, by the way. And I look at that game, and since that point, what the hell happened? Because we look like an entirely different team since that game Sunday.
Exactly what happened. The Hornets, even after these last 2 terrible games, number 1 offense in the NBA. 100. I think they're down to 100.
17, 18?
115. Oh, they were 107 after the Portland game. 117 points a game. That was about 3 points clear of the next highest offense. Okay. The Hornets have never been the number 1 offense in the league.
Not I can remember ever.
Okay,
probably not since the Dale Curry Mugsley days.
And the thing is, they know they're the number 1 offense. Of course, the players know this.
Right.
So when it comes time to play defense, they don't care. They don't care. They're like, we score points.
It's usually the first half.
Because
it pisses me off that they don't come out with a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
They come out floating like, we're good, we got this. No, you're not.
Because they feel like, well, we can score. We can just score. The threes are going to fall.
Everybody. Right.
And the thing is, if teams, they look at the scouting report, that's the number 1 offense in the league. Okay, well, let's do this against them.
Right.
And here's what pisses me off about the Hornets. When they decide to play defense,
they look great, man.
They look good. That's how they start coming back in the game.
Let me tell you another thing too. The rotations, the actual rotations, was thrown off when Rozier got back.
Yeah,
we saw a lot more.
I don't want to put that in the air.
We saw a lot more McDaniels, who was a better defender
than a lot of right.
And then Oubre's bigger too.
Right.
And so now that Terry shot ain't falling, it don't look that good out there.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. When the Hornets were winning, Oubre was starting. You got to think Oubre's 6'7", Lalo 6'8".
Guys, that's an excellent point, but
Hornets were not better last year. Stop.
I'm not even going to touch that. They were clearly. But anyway, Oubre still got to get smoked. I'm going to tell you why. The Golden State game, he was awful. Kelly Oubre was god-awful.
Him and Ish
Smith was bad, too. But Kelly Oubre was awfuler. Yeah, I just made up a word. He was awfuler.
And you would think,
going back to Golden State, the team who dumped you, who threw you out like Uncle Phil did Jazzy, you would come back with some fire and be engaged. He looked like he didn't want to be there. And that's unacceptable to me, man.
I mean, the Hornets' only problem is that they don't play defense. They just don't.
They gave up 100.
We gave up 140 points to the Sacramento
Kings. In regulation.
With 7 minutes and 50 seconds left in that game, the Hornets were down 12.
That's crazy, man.
They were down 12, lost by 30.
Listen. What's my man name? Off night, the rookie.
Oh,
Davion Mitchell.
You know what his 3-point shooting percentage was coming into that game?
29.
29%.
Yep.
Guess what he did?
He was like 4 or 5 of them.
He goes 4 for 4. I can't explain that.
And then I don't know why you would leave Buddy Hield open to all people.
Just leave him open.
Because at some point, if you look at him hard enough, he's going to miss Rodney. I mean, you can look at somebody and then,
Yeah, I want to bring up something. I want to bring up something that we may get slammed about in the comments.
Bring it, man.
Why does LaMelo Ball play bad on the road?
Ooh, wow.
Okay, all right. So here's my theory, because I thought about, although he played decent against Sacramento, but LaMelo Ball he's a Showtime guy, and he feeds off the energy and vibe.
Right,
he's that kind of guy.
He's a young. Keep in mind, he's a very young dude, man.
So when he's playing at home, and all teams shoot better at home for one,
right?
Because they're just comfortable with the gym. But when the Hornets play well at home, the Hive is rocking. Even that Celtics game, even though everyone from Massachusetts had somehow had a ticket to the game,
we were actually louder.
Yeah, no doubt.
It was a good, awesome atmosphere, and LaMelo plays well. But on the road, it's not like that. The sad thing is, a lot of people actually come to see LaMelo Ball on the road.
No doubt.
But it just doesn't seem to translate. I don't think the vibe is there for him. It's not the same.
Well, he better find that vibe and get consistent.
And look, and the thing is, like, we're not trashing LaMelo because it's easy to understand that he is a young guy who is going to make young player mistakes, and he's still learning the NBA game. That's important to know. LaMelo Ball is still learning the NBA professional game. Now, there's another point I want to make with LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball fans, I know y'all are on Instagram every 5 minutes wanting to fire James Borrego. But here's another point I want to make with LaMelo Ball. Defensively, LaMelo Ball, at some point, he's going to figure it out, okay? Mm-hmm. But right now, LaMelo Ball can be really bad defensively sometimes. And nobody says that. But if you look close enough, and these little silly, careless fouls that puts him in foul trouble the first 5 minutes of the game.
And that's the reason why he doesn't play 35, 40 minutes.
That's one reason why he doesn't play 40 minutes a game, LaMelo Ball.
He's already fouled out twice.
He's fouled out twice, guys. Season. Okay? But more specifically, Hornets fans, what is the common theme amongst all of us? We need a center. We need a center. They need to go get a center. That is not the only problem these Charlotte Hornets have, people. They cannot contain guards on the perimeter. That is another issue the Charlotte Hornets have.
Who's the number one perimeter defense in the league?
Golden State.
Golden State. Who plays center for Golden State?
Who knows? Who cares?
I don't know.
Right.
Bielisa? Y'all trying to tell me
I forgot the guy's name.
Yeah, it's
Looney.
Looney comes off the bench.
6'8" Kevon Looney. Yeah, he's the center for the Golden State Warriors, guys.
The reason that they played such good defense against. Did you see the defense they were playing on our guards, Golden State?
Listen, Gary Payton dominated the game without the stats dominating.
Right,
you get what I'm saying?
I mean, he's part of the reason Ish Smith didn't look good because he was
for that matter.
He was in their jerseys. That's what the Hornets got to do. What kills me is when they decide to do it.
They're pretty good.
Let me speak to that point because I don't want to go off on a tangent about the other team's player, but I want to talk about this Gary Payton III real quick, man. I look at that mentality that dude had, and old school basketball fans, we know where that comes from.
Father.
Exactly.
Right.
We know where that comes from. But I want to speak to the mentality of that young man because we need that kind of stuff on this team. We need that hard-nosed, edgy, you not scoring on me mentality on this team.
Y'all notice the difference when Cody Martin come in the game?
Don't
listen,
get me started.
Listen, man.
Look, hey, if LiAngelo Ball wants to make it to the NBA, he needs to be looking at tape of Cody Martin. That's the kind of player he needs to be. Cody Martin improved his three-point shooting. He improved everything about his game offensively, and he somehow got better defensively.
Hey, Kaza, as horrible as that Sacramento game was, you know, the one time we really cut it
when Cody
Martin was in the game, because he was the only one that said, "I'm going to play me some defense tonight."
We got to trade him, though. That's what that means.
No. We got to trade him. So this guy who hasn't seen an NBA court,
right?
You know, we know what he brings us because James Bouknight, we need to play him, right? Because we drafted him.
No, if you got somebody playing him, right? That's what the fans told me.
That's what the fans told me.
It's man. Look, I don't know what James Bouknight provides to this team right now. Like I'm even looking at him and doing his quote unquote garbage minutes. He doesn't look that good. Like he looks lost a lot of the times. I understand that you're playing with second unit people, but scoring is not our problem. It's defense.
Thank you.
It's defense.
Thank you.
Say that again, man.
Scoring is not our problem. It's defense. And so, I mean, Kai he's raw.
By the way,
but that JT Thor looked good.
Speaking of Kai Jones, we actually may see some Kai Jones tonight. Maybe. I don't know for sure. But word has it, Plumlee probably doesn't he doesn't look like he's going to play tonight. PJ Washington's probably out tonight. So we're down to centers essentially.
So we got Nick Richards, who has been like he hasn't been terrible.
He's been okay.
He's been okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say this. I expected more from him defensively given his size.
Right.
But I feel like dudes are driving to the lane. They do not care if Nick Richards is standing there or not.
And that shouldn't be the issue.
Yeah.
Right. It shouldn't be that way.
Do we see Vernon Carey tonight?
No.
I don't think so.
I think we see Kai Jones.
I think we see Kai Jones before we see Vernon Carey.
We didn't see.
And Rodney, I feel the exact same way. That face you just made, that's exactly how I feel about
because
that too.
We didn't see Vernon Carey when we were down 30 to Sacramento. We saw Kai Jones.
I don't know, man.
I
don't think either one of those dudes solve our problems either way.
I think Kai Jones can and will develop into the type of player that the Hornets need. But he's not it right now.
He ain't ready right now, man. Nah. Kai Jones is so raw.
Yeah, I still think he's everyone, all the Hornets fans, but they love Miles Turner. They love Miles Turner, even though Cody Zeller never had a problem with Miles Turner in his life, but they love Miles Turner. I think Kai Jones is a Miles Turner kind of guy.
Nah.
A lot of athleticism, not a good rebounder. He's not. Stop telling me Miles Turner can rebound. The dude averages 6.5 rebounds a game. He's not a good rebounder.
Jones can't get up though.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like Miles Turner relies on his athleticism to play defense, can do some things offensively. I think he'll be that kind of guy.
Maybe.
We'll see. We shall see. He does block shots.
There's a game that we're not talking about that disgusted me as well.
Don't get me started.
The Cleveland Cavaliers came into town and scored 40 damn points in the first quarter.
That tone, man, it's like you're gonna expend so much energy coming back instead of just buckling down playing defense. Like honestly, when LaMelo shot that three, but his foot was out of bounds and he made it, that to me was like a turning point a little bit. And if Cleveland used that size, Jared Allen had a dunk fest.
Jared Allen looked like Shaquille O'Neal against us. But you know what's funny about that game? I want to talk about that more. Captain Obvious statement. We don't have the personnel, aka the center, to match up with guys like that. Let's get the obvious statement out the way, okay?
They start 3-7 for this, bro.
But I noticed in the second half when we made it a game, we kind of did a better job by committee. The team did a better job of collapsing the paint, the team did a better job of rebounding the ball because we have to, because we don't have one guy we can rely on to do all that for us. And I noticed the team made a better effort in the second quarter to do that, but they could not sustain that because they had to dig themselves out of a 20-point hole. And again, you don't have the guy that you can rely on to do that consistently. Am I off with that?
No,
That's effort. NBA coaches will always say defense is all about effort. I mean, there's no magical defensive. Someone in the comments on the game thread said, "Well, what kind of defensive scheme?" There are no defensive schemes in the NBA. It's mostly man-to-man, or you might run some zone if you have to. But
this is my humble opinion. Scheme is about 15% of it, man. The other 85% is whether you just want to fucking stop. Whether you just want to stop the guy or you're not.
Exactly. So
we're just off the hook today.
Because every team, even the Hurricanes, don't get me started. Although the Hurricanes just finally lost their first game of the season, but they lost to the Florida Panthers, so I'm mad about that. But anyway, back to the Hornets.
Ironic, Panthers.
I know, right? I don't know what the quick fix is for the Hornets.
Let me ask you a question.
There's no quick fix. They're right on track to be 42-40. Like I said,
that's true.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, so like I'm not too upset because I didn't expect like a top 4 seed this year.
And and we have to remember this, guys. It is a long season.
That's true.
We still got 72 more games. Now, as alarming as this week looked, getting throttled by the Sacramento Kings and it not looking much better against the Golden State Warriors, it's alarming. Don't get it twisted. It looked really bad these last 3 games.
Plus, the scheduling did not favor us.
And the scheduling did not favor us at all. Let's also throw that out there as well.
Starting your West Coast road trip after a back-to-back.
And it don't get no better this week, okay?
Let me just explain this week. Tonight, we're in L.A. with the Clippers. Tomorrow,
we're in L.A. with the Lakers.
And then 2 days later, we travel to Memphis to play the Grizzlies,
who we do not match up well with at all.
Jaw's going to eat. And
Steven Adams was going to eat as well.
And then on Friday, we're back home against New York, which is a pretty good team.
Tough game.
And then Sunday, we're back here next Sunday against Steph. Like, this is we can feasibly lose all these games.
Yeah.
We could.
There's not a sure W in any of those.
You know what the good part about this is? This is the only good part about all this. At least you get this out the way early in the season. Right. That's all I got.
Here's the thing, and here's what's going to be frustrating. They're not going to lose all those games. They're going to win.
Like at least 2 or 3 of those.
They're going to win games that they shouldn't win against teams they shouldn't beat, just like they beat Brooklyn earlier this season.
Yeah, no doubt.
They're going to win.
At some point, they're going to
some games because they're going to be competitive. I think the Hornets can be competitive when they choose to be, and that will be the story of the season, I think.
Right.
I got a question.
Yeah. I can see the horns growing out your head right now.
Oh, boy. Rodney got that look.
Yeah.
This is a monk revenge game.
What, he going to score 13 points against us?
Listen, let me tell you something right now, Rodney. Cousins, y'all listening? If Monk goes out and goes crazy against us, I'm not logging on to social media for a week. I will take a social media break for a week if Malik Monk goes crazy on us.
You know what? I'm gonna say this.
I won't because he plays with better teammates. He's open.
If Malik Monk has a good game against us, then that to me shows how unprofessional he is. You couldn't have those games when you played with us consistently, and you're gonna wait until you go play with LeBron James to have a good game with us.
And you look at it like this too. Like,
that's kind of impressive.
Go do a rail and sit your ass down. That's what I got to say to Malik Monk.
And you look at it
go
like
get an 8-ball and get out of my face.
Stop. Don't do that.
I'm gonna do that.
It burns.
And you look at it like this too. Like, where were you when your team gave up those big leads to OKC? Probably the worst team in the league.
Malik Monk against Houston, 13 minutes, 1 point. Against OKC, 13 minutes, 2 points. Why are we even wasting our time talking about this dude?
We don't play defense, though. And look, I say that because I always have this fear that we're going to be somebody's get-right game, specifically because we don't defend. I'm always going to have that fear, man. I'm sorry. God, look. Thank God Dame Lillard is going through some stuff, whatever he's going through. Thank God we got that version of Dame Lillard, because I don't know what would have happened if we would have got regular Dame.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, it's not like we locked Dame down.
That's what I'm saying, man. He just
wasn't playing good. I think the new ball is messing with a lot of players this year. And I know people are like,
no doubt.
Real hoopers play with any ball.
No.
These are guys who literally spend 12 hours a day
with the same
with the Spalding, and now you got a Wilson ball, which it feels different. It bounces different. What players are saying, I think, is throwing a lot of people off.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's all that guys like Harden and Dame Lillard are having.
Well, I think Harden has a different set of issues.
I think them fouls. By the way, is there like a law that says you can't call a foul for the Charlotte Hornets? Like if you punch a Hornet in the face,
or if you dislocate the damn arm.
Yeah, if you do that,
Jesus,
that's not a foul.
Okay, since we're here, let's go back to that Cleveland game. This is another reason why you don't dig yourself 20-point holes. You know why? Because you ultimately leave it up to referees to decide your game.
Absolutely.
Rodney, what do we always say on the show? We don't like to talk about referees.
Yeah, right.
But in that Cleveland Cavaliers game, my God.
Boy, that
was bad.
That's one of the worst.
That was horrible. That was bad, man.
Hey, guys. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead, bro.
Gordon Hayward's averaging 18 points on 50% shooting for the season.
Trade him. Gotta trade him.
It's his fault. It's his fault, man.
It's his fault. He gotta go.
He's a miles away, man.
He doesn't fit.
He doesn't fit, man.
He doesn't fit.
But so I want people to remember this, because a lot of people were saying that he doesn't flow with the offense doesn't flow with Gordon Hayward in it. Now this is the number one offense in the league, and he's averaging 18 points on 50% shooting. 50% from the field, effective field goal range, almost 62%. The number one offense in the league.
I'm going to say this because I know y'all will understand. Could you imagine how bad it would be without Gordon Hayward right now?
It's pretty bad.
Look, it's bad. This week was bad already. Imagine how much
that
worse.
Golden State game and that Sacramento.
Imagine how much worse it would have been without him. Just imagine that.
I will say this. This is the only criticism I'm going to give Gordon Hayward. And it's not really his fault, but
I know where you're going.
Sometimes the ball gets stuck with him,
mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he feels like I got to make a shot.
Yeah.
You know why? Because no one else is gonna make a shot.
And most of the time, that thinking is kind of right.
Look, yeah, exactly. Honestly, I'm gonna say this, and people are not gonna like what I'm saying, but during a close game, at the end of the possession, I rather the ball in his hands.
I want the ball in his hands. Because
I know that he will make the right
decision. Right.
He's going to take a high percentage shot.
Or he will kick it out.
Like unlike Terry Rozier, who passed up an open layup to go take a corner three.
He didn't really have a preseason because of the injury. Missed the first couple of games, came back, missed the next couple of games. He got to get right. He got to take that headband off, take them braids out, and get right.
Well, he had the headband off against Sacramento.
Yeah, and didn't work. He looked terrible. He looked pretty awful. Look, for the long run, I don't think we're worried about Terry Rozier for the long run. But at the same time, just with the schedule,
he's looking real Robbie Anderson.
But I think it's even kind of escalated with this schedule we got right now, knowing that we need him so desperately right now, and he's just not showing up. So it just feels more desperate than maybe, I don't know. It feels desperate. I'll keep it at that.
All right. How y'all feel about Coach? Everyone hates Coach. If you go on a YouTube video, any Charlotte Hornets YouTube video, just read the comments. And Coach Borrego is the most hated man in the world.
I ignore people who
it's interesting.
I think he's at a handicap. In my opinion,
we always complain about there's no center, so that's part of the problem. We don't have any two-way players like that, and he doesn't have the benefit of having like a top tier roster, but we can obviously see players getting better.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Here's my thing, man. Again, let's throw out the Captain Obvious statement of not having a rim protector. You have a 20-year-old point guard. We know what he will be. We know how good LaMelo will be. We all believe in him. But as it stands right now, you have a very young point guard. You have no center, no rim protector. Okay, you are constantly trying to scheme and coach around those things. Mm-hmm. There's not a coach on earth who is going to be perfect in doing that.
And then you look at roster continuity too. Like Rozier's been out.
Then there's that.
Washington has been out. You about to have Plumlee out. You're not playing the rookies. And then Oubre is having a change of role. And so it's just like there hasn't been that early continuity right now.
Do you think Terry would do an Andre Iguodala?
No.
Remember when Steve Kerr asked Andre Iguodala to come off the bench so that Harrison Barnes could start and Golden State won a championship?
Let me tell you why he wouldn't do it.
Because
he was supposed to. Remember, he was brought in here to be the point guard, and now he's a de facto too.
Yeah.
So he already kind of.
He's already sacrificed one role for another. Yeah. Yeah.
He's not gonna do it.
And I think, and on top of that, man, I just think he's a competitive. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but he has a big ego and he's competitive. And again, I don't mean that's not a knock on him. It's just that's who he is. And I don't think he'll take that well.
My last question: who makes the All-Star team from this team? Does anybody make the All-Star team? LaMelo's gonna make it. He's gonna make it.
I have someone who argues
from fan vote.
So I have a friend who I've been arguing with about this. He says LaMelo's not an All-Star. My rebuttal to him was: look at the competition outside of Trae Young. And maybe James Harden, who they may classify as a point guard. Who you got?
LaMelo's averaging 25 and 7 on the season in his second year. He's gonna make the All-Star team because he's LaMelo Ball.
That's my point. I agree with you.
He's got the stat. He's got All-Star stats. He's gonna make it.
What's gonna happen? Bridges won't get snubbed.
Bridges will get snubbed. Yep.
And that's gonna be a shame.
Because if you look at it like this, man, that forward position in the East,
it's loaded.
Yeah,
you got
Julius Randle,
KD, Giannis, Tatum, Brown. Those guys are just averaging just as much as he is.
Right. Yeah.
And so like it's gonna be a rough one. But I think if we're in a position where we're top 7 or 8, they'll give us one All-Star.
I agree.
But if not, I don't see a All-Star.
LaMelo is going to have a huge fan vote. Look at the other point guards in the East.
I don't
you got Trae Young. Kyrie Irving is not playing this year.
Yeah.
James Harden is a 2 guard, but he's not having the season he's having. Who else in the East at the guard position?
But that's been my point.
Ben Simmons isn't playing.
Beal.
So you got Bradley Beal. You got Lonzo. You got his brother. You got
I think he's better than Lonzo, man.
Oh, let me tell you another impediment. Oh, Zach LaVine too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then another impediment for Miles is DeMar DeRozan's been playing.
Chicago looked really good.
Yeah.
I think LaMelo makes it mainly because of the fan vote. I think LaMelo Ball make it. I agree that Miles Bridges is going to be snubbed.
Hey, look, if they love LaMelo like they love his brother, he would definitely make it.
Actually, fans tell me they don't want to see Alonzo LaMelo starting backcourt in the All-Star game. That would break YouTube.
The NBA will change that so quick.
It would change that so quick, which they probably should.
They'll vote LiAngelo Ball into the NBA All-Star game from the G League. The fans will find a way to make this happen.
All right, guys.
DeRozan averaging 27 a game. God, dog.
So
we could have had him. Just joking.
So, guys, by the time we come back next week, we will have played. Not including tonight, but let's include tonight because we'll cover that. Clippers, Lakers, the Grizzlies, and the Knicks. What is our record next week? Who wants to take this one first?
Oh my God.
6-8.
No. What's the record just for next week?
They win
1-3.
Yeah, they win one of those against one of the LA teams.
No. I think they win either against New York or Memphis. I think they lose both of the LA games.
And look, I have no explanation why. This is just a feeling. I got a feeling they win tonight for some reason.
I think
that's it.
Well, the only reason that they might lose against the Lakers is because LeBron magically is going to.
He's gonna heal up. Yeah. He's like I'm good now.
He does this.
I'm not hurt anymore.
Yeah, he's hurt. Then when he got to play the Hornets, he's magically healed. He scores 1,000,000 points, and now he's hurt again.
The next game.
So he really loves playing against Michael Jordan's teams, and he's going to play, and the Hornets are going to lose, and Malik Monk's going to have like a 20-point game, and people are going to be mad. Yeah. The Hornets group are going to have to shut it down for a day. The Clippers are very vulnerable. They're too inconsistent. They really are.
They are. Too rigid game.
Also, the Hornets have been on the West Coast for a while now. Their bodies are acclimated. We just gained an hour of time. I think that plus they fighting in the locker room over that Sacramento game.
Yeah, they should be.
They should be. In fact, Steve Smith, what you doing? I need you to go make 2 stops.
That's what we need right now.
I need you to make 2 stops. Bank of America Stadium, start punching people in the face.
Go there first, please.
Yes. And then hop back out, go to your hometown in LA, find whatever the Hornets stand.
We have just figured out what both solid teams need. They need number 89 in the locker room.
Ice up, son. They need the ice up. So I think they'll beat one of the LA teams. Memphis is going to come out and want to prove that the 60-win preseason win wasn't a fluke. So they're going to come out.
Yeah, they kind of are so far, man. They look good, dude.
Yeah,
Exactly.
South Carolina.
Listen, John Morant is ascending.
I'm hoping that this is the game, and this is my only real criticism of LaMelo Ball. I'm not even going to criticize him for not being a great defender because it's only his second season, and he still got a lot to learn.
Right.
But he ain't got that killer.
The dog.
He don't have it. Miles Bridges has it, but I love Miles Bridges. He might be my favorite Hornet right now. But I don't think his ceiling is quite as high as LaMelo Ball's is.
No, I agree with that.
And if LaMelo Ball ever gets to that point where he's like, you know
I'm
what?
the best dude on the floor right now.
Yeah, I'm the best guy on the like John Morant. He might not even be the best guy on the floor, but he thinks he is.
He's going to play like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to have to prove I'm not the best dude on the floor. I don't think LaMelo's there yet. And I'm hoping like these matchups against people like John Morant and Trae Young who have that mentality.
Get him there.
Yes. I hope he doesn't cower. I hope he's like, okay, all right, Ja, I see.
No, I think he has supreme confidence in himself, and I think that he shows it in a different way.
Yeah.
And so, like, he's not gonna let you get the best of him too long.
Mm-hmm.
And even if he got to play you again, he gonna come at you.
Right.
But I think he's smart enough to realize I can't do the one-on-one game all the time.
Right.
Plus, here's the point I want to make. And sometimes when he does get in that mode, that's kind of sometimes when the silly turnovers and the silly shots kind of. He's got to learn to pick his spots. Right. Which every young player, you can say that about every young player, but yeah, you got to make the smart play. That's why LeBron James is one. LeBron James, that same, like you said, a lot of confidence in himself, but he displays it in his own way. You know, a lot of people say LeBron don't have that killer instinct that guys like Jordan or Kobe had, which is true, and that's why Kobe and Jordan are great. But LeBron is LeBron. Right. He does it his way. Exactly. He gets it his way, and I'm hoping that we at least see some semblance of that from LaMelo Ball.
LeBron is a dog.
Yeah, well, he damn sure a dog against us.
Only against us.
Yeah, I can't wait till he retires.
Shout outs, guys. Shout outs.
Oh, I guess shout out to all the fans who were Panthers fans and then became Hornets fans when the Panthers started sucking. and
now you're off the boat again.
now you're looking at the NHL page on ESPN, wondering how hockey is played. Not really understanding how. Because now you're Hurricanes fans. So shout out to you guys.
Oh man,
that's it.
I want to give prayers to the people that went to that Ashworld concert.
That is disgusting, man.
Terrible.
A lot of people said bad vibes. Just a tragedy. Just shout out to y'all and just praying for health, safety, and strength.
I don't have a shout out. I have an announcement.
People can say it's Photoshopped.
That looks real to me.
Looks real to me. Shout out to Atlanta Braves. And, I know there's a lot of Braves fans in the region. So shout out to Atlanta Braves. First one in 20-something years, 30, whatever, however long it's been.
Might have been in the 90s.
Shout out to the Braves, man. Also want to tell everybody I am not at liberty to say anything just yet. But next week we will have a special announcement that I cannot wait to break to everybody. It is something we have been working on. It looks like it is going to come to fruition pretty soon. So I will just wait till next week to give everybody the official announcement. But just know we have an announcement next week. And that's all I got.
Last time the Braves won the World Series, I think Halle Berry had just left David Justice.
Right.
That's a long
That was a long time ago.
That's a long
time ago, man.
David Justice was a monster, and then he married Halle Berry.
And then it just zapped all his energy.
So you say she's Erykah Badu?
You know what?
I remember David Justice saying in an interview, he said, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells in this relationship. Don't ask me how I remember that, but I just remember him saying that.
But I mean, it's Halle Berry.
Yeah, it's Halle Berry.
Y'all can have that. I'm sorry.
I mean, look, she done had 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 dudes after that. So I'm not saying anything,
And Eric Benet is the man. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching.
Yes,
you guys
thank
have a
you.
wonderful day. Sam Darnold just threw another interception in the locker room. David Tepper is in there chewing them out for the 4th interception of the day. You guys have a good one.
Steve Smith, we need you.